Somebody shut the door. I know where temptation lies inside of your heart. I know where the evil lies inside of your heart. Well, if you're only gonna make it right, you're surely gonna end up wrong, 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 wrong. I know where the mirror's edge is inside of your heart. Well, if you're gonna make it right, you're surely gonna end up wrong, wrong, wrong. I'm just gonna start all over again. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another exciting episode of the Unrelenting Alchemist, all spiritual all the time, the topics you need to know about. We're talking about spiritual fortitude in the face of the spiritual stalker, the unrelenting predator. This is part 2 of our discussion about the shadowy figure that's followed you across lifetimes. Their obsession defies logic, but their hatred is not based on your behavior, it's based on your existence. You've not perished. Though their sabotage has wounded you, though their mimicry has confused many, though their poison has at times seeped into your bloodstream, you survive. You are still here, and you are a testament to your high spiritual rank, because deep at heart, they can't hold a candle to you. Survival in the presence of that much malice is no small feat, for they'll recruit others against you. But this battle isn't just about mere survival. You were born to endure, and you were born to triumph. And even though they seek vengeance or petty retaliation, you elevate, you rise, you ascend, and as you do, they wither. Not because you hurt them, but because where you're going, they cannot follow. There are certain laws that they cannot escape. There are rules written in spirit, cosmic codes, karmic laws. The stalker has violated them all. And in truth, when they violated your consent, and they violated your energetic boundaries, and they broke the rules and the regulations, they violated sacred contracts between souls. But at the end of it all, they forfeited their own ascension by seeking to climb through your destruction. And now they live under the curse of their own inversion. You, on the other hand, have never had to steal to shine. You've never had to sabotage to ascend. You built your life, your light from the inside, from prayer, from connection to the divine, from pain, from purification. You are like steel that has been tempered again and again, unbreakable, untouchable. They can imitate your walk, but they cannot match your breath. They can mimic your sound, but they cannot channel your essence. And most of all, they cannot escape their judgment. That is their own karma. That never belongs to you, even though they try to give it to you. You are the divine reckoning that awaits all souls who steal, who stalk, and who try to use others to serve their hunger. For you are the severity of God. And in every spiritual timeline, there becomes a turning point where the hunted becomes the crowned, and that moment is here. Because for years, maybe lifetimes, you felt the pressure. You felt them coming for you. You felt the invisible chains. You felt the surveillance of their network of spiritual assassins, cloaked as people who will backstab you when you least expect it. The betrayals that came too precisely, the patterns that repeated like nightmares with no end in sight. But now you are awake, and in this lifetime, they will not be able to get away with what they've gotten away with before. You've seen their face in every form: lover, friend, sibling, parent, mentor, stranger. You recognize the mask, you hear the vibration, you feel the chill of their gaze before they speak. You know there's something dreadfully wrong. And this time you're not going to run, you're not going to plead, you're going to stand, because you have all of the power that the divine blessed you with. You understand that your endurance is a kind of curse upon their campaign. Every time you rise, they're forced to realize that they never can really break you, and they never really will. They can hurt you. They can wound you. But you call your power back, and you have that right. You reclaim every ounce of energy that they've ever taken. You reverse the rituals they worked in silence. You unravel the contracts they tried to forge through deception, sex, trauma, betrayal, trickery, blood. You are not their puppet. You're not their target, and you're not their karmic sponge. They think you are, but you are sovereign. You say these words with me out loud with authority, in any sacred space that calls out to you. You repeat, I call back my power. I revoke all spiritual contracts made without my conscious intent. I seal every wound. I seal every breach. I close every portal. I command every stolen piece of my soul to return to me now, cleansed by divine fire. I renounce the stalker and all of their works. I reclaim my joy, my purpose, and my divine identity. No, no, no. This immature, impure, and pale imitation. They cannot ever beat you. You need to call back your power. You need to repeat it with fire. You need to repeat it until the room changes, until you feel the shift in your breath, until the watchers flinch. And then you will triumph. This is not a suggestion. This is spiritual war. You do not need to hunt them down and fight them. You have the Most High helping you at every turn. You have the spirit guides. You have the angels. You have the ancestors. They fight for you every moment. You do not need to dirty your hands with a battle with them. Their body will begin to reject the energy they steal. It won't nourish them. It won't ever help them. It will deform them, and it will wound them, and they will become diseased. And by consuming what was never meant for them, the more they will grow sick. Organs will fail. Mind will break. Hallucinations will haunt them. Sleep paralysis will take them. Night terrors. Illnesses with no medical cause. Curses rebound. They lose their mind. They are taken to a mental hospital for a week. The divine does not permit them to keep unearned power, and the divine will not let them go unpunished forever. What is stolen will take a toll on its thieves, and the more they laughed, the more that they will rot. They wanted your gifts. They didn't want your burdens. They wanted your voice. They wanted your silence. Your silence in that they would speak with your light. They would speak with your words, but in a twisted, dark way. And they would find a shortcut to your throne. But now that throne is a coffin, and they will not escape. You can forgive them, but you do not need to reconnect with them. It does not mean reunion. Compassion does not mean proximity. You can forgive without entertaining their BS. You don't need their presence in your life. You put distance between you and them, and you will rise, and you will wonder, but you will not look back. This murderous stalker has abused everything. What they've done is incarnation. From the time of your rebirth, you have been rising, and they cannot stop you. You're not called to enlighten them. They're not your mission. Your freedom is not dependent on their apology. You don't have to rescue them. You don't have to save them. And where you're going, they cannot come. The lesson is not for them. It is for you and for the others around you who will understand. These charlatans will beg the divine for justice, and their destruction is already in motion. The divine has special missions for you and you alone, and you've never been alone. You've had helpers all around you. Even when you felt overwhelmed, the divine was watching. The divine had helpers shielding, taking the blows that would have finished you. You saw what was hunting you. Now you know what to do. You're not paranoid. You're not crazy. You are not imagining it. The spiritual assassination they threw at you every night was quite real. The stalking was quite real. The mimicry was quite real. The attempts to take everything that you are and consume you whole was all real. But you're still here, and they have not succeeded. Not because of luck, but because of divine favor, divine ordination. Your ancestors fought beside you. The angels masked you when the enemy got too close. Spirit guided you out of traps, relationships, and near-death attacks. You were covered, and now you are crowned. And when you, as the chosen, rise, the whole world will always feel it because you're coming into your power and you're coming to fulfill the mission that you came here to do. Reclaim that power. Reclaim it now. And I thank you for joining me in the sacred hour. This has been another episode of the Unrelenting Alchemist. This has been part 2 of the Spiritual Stalker series. Until next time, continue to walk wisely, continue to walk bravely, and when the dark calls, answer not with fear, but with fire and light. Remember, you have all of the power, and they can do nothing.
And if I don't see you, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I love you.